doing a part 2 of this episode, where we have more stuff to discuss. So, that happened on Black Friday, alright? That happened on Black Friday. Black Friday was yesterday. But there's more that happened on Black Friday. And there's even more that I haven't talked about. So, let's talk about what else happened on Black Friday later in this episode. Let's talk about a little thing, a small, insignificant thing called, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Familia Chronicle Ryu. Familia Chronicle Ryu. Familia Chronicle Ryu. Familia Chronicle Ryu. The first of the many main story episode collections in this beautiful game that we are playing through again. Now, what's so important about Familia Chronicle Ryu, besides the fact that it's like the catalyst for the fucking ambitiously ultimate adventure. Thing is, what's important about it, and since we're on that fact, what's important about Sword Oratoria, and what's important about what's important about Sword Oratoria is that those also have and those also we're not gonna get into this. Folks, let's move on. I know that I built that up for no reason, but let's just move on. So let's talk about Twitch Prime. So let's talk about the Dream SMP. Okay. Let's talk about the Dream SMP, but also, let me get a fucking water, dude. I need water. I need water, now. So, it's Dream SMP Season 2. It's been like that these days. Not a lot of wars are happening, which isn't bad. Actually quite good. There's not a lot of... Felt like not a lot of story was going on. Sure, Lemanberg's is being reconstructed. Sure, there's new people being added to the server. There hasn't been anything too interesting that's happened, at least from what I know. But that was until I realized yesterday. So a lot of stuff has actually happened in Dream SMP Season 2. Wilbur died because Philza killed him on November 16th. In Minecraft, of course. And Wilbur is now Ghostbur. Ghostbur doesn't remember a lot of things when he went insane. And so he only remembers everything up to the election. And thinks that he won the election when, Jay Schlatt won. Ghostbur is a very interesting character. Because it's Wilbur, but, it's just... He just doesn't fucking remember shit. And so... We're gonna get into a little lore and shit for a minute. So, Fundy. If you didn't know, Fundy in the whole grand scheme of the canon is Wilbur's son. And since Wilbur died, Fundy is actually an orphan. And so, Fundy he's just an orphan. And Eric, I heard, wanted to adopt Fundy. And so I forget who took the papers to who, but basically, no, yeah, I think Eric signed the adoption papers, and then Fundy went to bring the papers to Filza, who is in the canon grandfather, to ask for Filza's permission. And Filza, I don't think, did anything. Maybe he did, but I'm not sure how that went. But what I'm sure of is that Eric, in the end, did not adopt Fundy. And so Filza ended up not adopting Fundy, but Fundy now lives with Filza, in the whole canon. Which is it's fun. It's a little thing. It's an interesting little thing, because I don't know, it's a little wholesome. It's a wholesome thought to just family, man. It's family, dude. Anyway, so that's happened. Fundy tried to spend time with Ghostbur, but that didn't really go well, because Ghostbur doesn't really remember what what his alive self did to Fundy, which was basically just betray the fuck out of him. So that was fun. But yeah, that's what's been happening. Little familia drama. I guess. Like I said, new people have been added. Vicstar, Laserbeam, Captain Puffy, Connery with Pants, Filza, and just today Ranbo, or Ranboo, which I don't know if it's like a fan of Tubbo's or I don't know. But he's a part of the Dream SMP as of today, so that's pretty pog. Apparently Vicstar and Laserbeam started their own little faction or town in the Dream SMP called Boomer Town. That's interesting. I think some of the new people are part of L'Manberg, but I don't know. I haven't really been up to date with who's a part of L'Manberg or not, because nobody ever fucking says if they are. All I know is that Tommy, Tubbo, Quackity, Carl, and Fundy, and Filza. There's a few people a part of L'Manberg, but I'm not sure of everyone who's in L'Manberg. So that's cool. Apparently H-Bomb is making a podcast called The LaCast, or called LaCast, where it's like a podcast where he invites two members on the Dream SMP to be on like a podcast as they fish, and it's like a game show at the same time. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing. I haven't seen if he finished that, but yeah, that's a thing. But that's pretty much it with the Dream SMP, folks. Not much else has really gone on there. So like some familiar drama, some projects being worked on. Besides that though, not much. Not much has really happened. Not like anything, not any wars or anything. So it's been very tame, I'd say. On the good old Dream SMP. Besides that, though, not much has happened. In terms of Minecraft, but there is at the same time. But we'll get to. Actually, do I want to get to him now? I don't know. We'll save him afterward. Same for afterward. And let's talk about the thing I was talking about. I was trying to, didn't want to talk about, but talked about. But so Melee Chronicle Ryu and Sword Art Autoria obviously have manga. Don't know if I'm gonna buy them. Don't know if I'm gonna read them. Because with the current, I don't know. That'd be too much to. I feel like that'd be too much to read. Not too much to read, but too much to read, and just too much to buy. Maybe at a later date. Maybe if the Liari's book club outlives Memoria Freese, then maybe. But I'm not sure. What I am sure of, though, is that there's something interesting that's gonna come. That's gonna come. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting. I don't know when I'm gonna introduce this very interesting thing, but know that it's gonna be interesting, and it's probably also gonna be like a long thing. But anyway, moving on from that. Do I just want to talk about Black Friday already? Should I just end off with not end off, but should I just tell you all the end of Black Friday? Why the fuck not? So, last night, like I said, I was playing Minecraft, and installing Optifine, updating it, figuring out dynamic lighting and shaders and shit. It's cool. And, I don't know how it all came to be, but, I got in a conversation with my mom and good old Lewis about getting a micro SD card for my Switch. To see the prices of the micro SD cards for the Switch. Because, it's Black Friday and all. And so we went ahead, we looked that up, and, dude, the sales on the micro SD cards yesterday were fucking insane, dude. And it's probably because I don't look at micro SD cards on Black Friday, ever. But, dude, those sales were crazy. It's crazy because, so let me explain. 65, no, not 65, for 64 gigs, I believe you could, I think, for $10, you could get 64 gigs of memory for the Switch. And then for 128, you could get 128 gigs for the Switch. You could get it for $20. And then for $40 more, or for $20 more than that, you could get 256. Now, that's crazy. That's crazy, oh yeah, it's 40, 20. But what's even crazier is how much they used to be. The 256 used to be 100. And the and the 128 gig used to be like 80. And so I was like, what the fuck, dude? And so after much debate and deliberation, we decided to get the 128, the 128 gig. But the story does not end there. So we got the 128 gig. We were looking online, is how we found it. And so we decided to get the 128 gig. And then we were also getting a computer for someone in Lewis's family, and so the whole Ecuador side of the family. And so we also decided to get that. And before we left to the house, or before we left to Best Buy, I looked at my phone to see if there was anything interesting. I saw that Death Stranding was $20. I saw that one of the Uncharted games was $10. But the most interesting thing of all is I saw that Collection of Mana was 20 fucking bucks, and I'm like, oh. Okay, so if you don't know this story, allow me to tell. So, you know how a lot of things kind of just loom over my life, whether it be Hollow Knight, whether it be Ray Zero, whether it be Haiku, whether it be Memoria Freese, whether it be my family, whether it be my friends, whether it be the drama, whether it be Minecraft, and my not long awaited end, my wait, like a lot of shit looms over my life, and in my days of distraught and despair and hopefulness. And one of those things I mentioned in the past was a game called Ni no Kuni. Now, Ni no Kuni is a game that I've had in my mind for a long time, and I found it on Steam a while back. And it was $60, so I had to wait a few years for it to go down, and then it was $40, and then eventually it got to $20, and then earlier this year, my mom bought Ni no Kuni, Reverent Kingdom, on the Switch, or not on the Switch, on Steam. Also earlier this year, or last year, she bought me Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, which was very cool, and that was for the Switch, so very cool stuff. So yeah, Ni no Kuni is a game that I had been wanting for a while. And this game was just as powerful in the sense of I've been wanting and looking at this and thinking about it, not every day, but it's sort of been looming around, you know? And if I haven't already blurted the name of the game out, it's called Collection of Mana. Now, Collection of Mana is this game that was released. Well, not released, but it's this collection of games that were released in between the 80s to the 2000s, and there are 3 games. I'm not sure if it's 3 games in total. I'm not sure if there's more games or if these are the best of the games. But yeah, there are 3 games in Collection of Mana, which is Final Fantasy Adventure, something of Mana, and then Trials of Mana. Now, a little funny story. When I was looking up, when I was trying to find like things and to see what else I could get to cash in on going to Best Buy and buying stuff for Black Friday, I went and looked up Trials of Mana, because I've had my eye on Collection of Mana for a long time. Now notice my wording there. I looked up Trials of Mana because I had my eye on Collection of Mana. Now, here's the thing. that of mana bit is the only thing I remember. I didn't remember what came before of mana. I didn't know if it was... like, the first one that came to mind was just Trials of Mana. So I looked up Trials of Mana. I watched the trailer, and I was kind of disappointed. Because I'm not a big sucker for 3D... like, old 3D RPGs. I'm more a sucker of, like, or not RPGs, but, like, MMOs, or, not MMOs, fucking, I don't know what it's called, but I'm not a big sucker of that kind of stuff. I'm not a big sucker for that stuff. I didn't really like the quality, even though it was, like, a remake, and so, I'm like, man, this can't be the game that I've been looking at, like, for 3 goddamn years, and I've been wanting. And so I went to look up Trials of Mana again, and I ended up finding Collection of Mana. And I'm like, oh, that's it. So then I found that Collection of Mana was $20. And so I went ahead and I looked at the trailer for Collection of Mana, and it was all 2D and MMO and fucking RPG and shit. And I'm like, this is it. This is the shit. This is the shit. And so I went ahead, I looked up how long the gameplay is. 75 fucking hours of story. And I'm like, yay! And so I went ahead and I decided, okay, we're going to get that. We're going to get the micro SD, and we're going to get the computer. And so, after a lot of deliberation and conversation, we went ahead and me and Lewis went to Best Buy. Now, when we got to Best Buy, there was a bit of a long line. We got in there. There was people there that were, like, confused at how much, like, if there was anything in there, or, like, what would we be able to get, like, if we had planned to buy something and it's not there. So there's a bit of stuff here and there. Some people were doing curbside pickup. And that was also a mess. So, a bit of a messy night at Best Buy for some folks. And the line wasn't that long compared to, like, last year's. So me and Lewis, we waited in line. And while we waited in line, I went ahead, I went on my phone, and I decided I was going to go ahead and do the thumbnail for Liari's Book Club, Volume 1, Step 1. And so... So I went ahead and do that. I went ahead and did that. I made the thumbnail for Liari's Book Club, Session 1. Dude, it was so good. I didn't do a lot of work, but I did enough work to say that it was quite the difficult thumbnail to create, and I'm very proud of it. I'd say it was just as difficult as the Irregulars episode. Nah, dude, I still remember that. Y'all remember the fucking episode where the Irregulars were introduced? Holy shit, that episode was fucking insane. That episode was bonkers, man. Dude, I can't believe that was only like... There's only like 30 episodes ago or something. That's insane. Dude, the Irregulars was such an insane episode. That was the episode where we beat the Irregularity, isn't it? Oh, dude, that was such a good... Anyway. So yeah, we did that. I had made my thumbnail there. And... let me think. I had made the thumbnail. And then when we got in the store, after what seemed like not too long, really, but, you know, we waited a long time, but not a long... So we got in the store. We went to the Switch section, and after not a lot of looking and whatnot, we found Collection of Mana, and then I looked around to see if there was anything else. There wasn't really anything else. Lewis then took me to check out the laptops. And while he was looking at the laptops, I saw this. I saw this device that piqued my interest. And I'm not going to explain what this device was and how it piqued my interest. But just know that it's an interesting device. That I may or may not explain later. But yeah, I found an interesting device. That piqued my interest. And yeah, I mean, we just continued through the store. We went to see, I went to go back to the Switch section to see if I could find anything else. There wasn't anything else. Oh yeah, by the way, we also got the micro SD. So that was cool. And well, just like that, folks, I mean, we got that stuff. And then we left. And then we left Best Buy. And that was it. Now, trust me when I tell you. Trust me when I tell you that was not all that happened. Believe me, that certain device that I'm not going to name or mention or really just do anything with to talk about. I'm not talking about it for a specific reason, and that's because the storyline following that device hasn't been completed yet. If that makes sense. So once I have the whole story, not the whole story, but once that story is complete, in the sense of like once that series of events has reached its end, is when I'll revisit the events of Black Friday. It'll be a very interesting story. I'd mark it as probably I'd mark it as not an amazing story, not as amazing as the fucking dude. I just remembered, dude, that one episode that was all about like the dating sim, like how I wanted to just play a dating sim, dude. That like it's not gonna be as great as that story. Because honestly, no other story in this entire series can ever fucking beat the extravagantly twisted loop-de-loop story that was Is It Wrong to Wanna Play a Dating Sim? Holy shit, that was such a fucking good episode. That was such a good episode, man. I love that episode so much. I need to make a thumbnail for that. I also need to make a thumbnail for the fucking. I need to make the thumbnail for Is It Wrong to Reassemble Our Army? And I also have to do the second part of Is It Wrong to Reassemble Our Army? Which will also come out later this week. But we'll see. Besides that, though, not much else happened. Yesterday, we'll have another story time episode, if you will, at a later date. But that's really it that happened on Black Friday. I didn't really do much after that. I had planned to maybe review episode 9, but I didn't, and I'm not doing here either. That's most likely, the review of episode 9 is most likely going to be tomorrow. I did watch it today, though. I know what's happened, and I've thought about reviewing it today. I'm not going to review it today, just for the sole fact of, A, I want to do exercise, and B, I have 6 fucking Genshin Impact episodes to fucking record. So, that's fun. Well, I don't have to record 6, but I want to record Genshin Impact, so. Yeah, so that's what's going on there. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff planned. Don't know when I'm going to release Everlasting Summer. I might hold off on recording Everlasting Summer until until, like, maybe next summer. That'd be funny. And then as for, like, other things on the channel, I also need to record the next episode of Our Life. But I don't know when I'm gonna do that. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, and I don't feel like doing that anymore. Even though I only recorded one episode, but we'll see how things go. What I do want to record a lot more of is Hollow Knight. Because even though I have one episode, like, here's the thing. I'm good with recording Hollow Knight. Like, I'm good with not having to record Hollow Knight episodes for every day. Because I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to upload one Hollow Knight episode every week. Just like with Our Life. So then that way I don't have to be super stressed about recording. That way I don't have to be super stressed to record 2 episodes of Hollow Knight every weekend. Because if you add 2 episodes of having to pre-record Hollow Knight on a weekend, plus 1 episode of Our Life, plus like 6 episodes of Genshin Impact, and then also doing Memoria Freese on the weekend at the same time, it's a lot of fucking work. So I'm definitely not going to do that. But we'll see. We'll see. Everything's a we'll see here, but now. It's time to tell a really, really cool story, guys. Because, ladies, today, I myself, me, for the first time ever in history, used my Twitch Prime sub. So, if you don't know what Twitch Prime is, I don't really have to, like, rant on about it, but Twitch Prime is basically this thing where, you know, you hook up your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account, and with your Twitch account, and basically every month for free, you can Prime to your favorite streamer of choice, and you know, you don't have to pay any money, just for free. So you can subscribe to them for free, and you can help them out for free. Isn't that awesome? And when they go into fucking sub-only mode, I think you can talk. I don't know. But it's really cool. It's really, really cool, ain't it? I really can't sell it even more than that, but Twitch Prime, it's a thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty epic. It's pretty PogChamp. Alright? Now, I'd be lying if I haven't heard the word subscribe, or the phrase subscribe and Prime. I would be lying if I told you that I haven't heard that before ever. Because holy shit. Dude, I don't know if y'all know this, but I kind of am an avid viewer of the Dream SMP, and more of an avid viewer of Tommy Innit. And believe me when I tell you, if there's one thing that Tommy Innit does that isn't making the whole fucking stream laugh and making everyone uncomfortable and reading the situation terribly, it's he knows how to fucking advertise Twitch Prime. He's always like, subscribe in Prime, it's free. It's free. You might not know that you have an Amazon account. You know, it's free. And I just don't do it. I don't Prime to him because I couldn't Prime to him. But he's done it a lot of times. He's asked for Primes and all this kind of stuff. And you'd think like, oh, okay, once you learn how to get a Prime, and once you got your Amazon account, you know, hooked up and whatnot, I'm sure you're gonna Prime to him, right? I'm sure you're gonna Prime to Tommy Innit. Maybe even like Tubbo, maybe Wilbur, maybe Miachu, maybe Fundy, maybe Captain Sparkles, Slimesicle, possibly even Whackety HQ. Dream was taken, George not found, sap, nap, bad. No. No. You know, for a long time, I've been wanting to sub. I've been wanting to use a Twitch Prime. I've been wanting to hook up my an Amazon account, an Amazon Prime account that I don't own, but a family member does, and that we've used before. I wanted to hook up their account to my Twitch account, so I could use my Prime sub on Tommy and it on any member in the Dream SMP. And I've been thinking about doing that for a long time. But here's the thing. I let time go on too. I let time pass too quickly, and I lost my chance. And how I lost my chance is, well, if I wanted to Twitch Prime to Tommy, you know, because like if I'm gonna Twitch Prime to someone, like I'm gonna Prime to someone, like I don't know. I want to make their day. You know what I mean? At least that's how I feel now. Back then, like if I wanted to Prime to someone, I want to see their reaction. I want to see, you know, Nori Ryu subscribed, you know, on the screen, on the stream. Because I'm a bit of a simp in that fashion. I'm a bit of a clout chaser in that fashion. But I just didn't. I didn't, and I missed my chance because I had missed my chance. And so what I went ahead and did, but I missed my chance. And it was really sad that I'd missed my chance. It's like, no way they'll notice me now, right? And so as you know, I watch the Dream SMP. And as you know, I also watch YouTube. And I also watch Satis Animatics. I watch Animatics of the Dream SMP. I'm a bit of a stan in the Dream SMP fandom. I'm a bit of a fan of a stan, in a sense. Well, not a stan. I'm more of a hardcore fan, but that's still a stan. But whatever. I like it. I enjoy it. And I watch clips on YouTube, and you know they're uploaded by different people that are trying to cash in on the whole Dream SMP, like popularity and vibe. And one of those people was this guy called Runalong. So Runalong is this YouTuber. I'm not sure if he still has a YouTube channel, but he's this YouTuber that would re-upload clips from Tommy or Tubbo's streams. And I'd watch them every once in a while. Even though I already watched the streams, you know, it's just cool to see clips. And so, it was pretty cool. I think I subscribed to him. It was a pretty cool fella. Obviously a lot of people on the Dream SMP, not a lot of people, but some people on the Dream SMP don't like it when, like, other people benefit from... Don't like it when, like, people re-upload their own content to YouTube, just as, like, to, like, re-upload their content only, not, like, edit it or anything, and then get profit off of that. Because that's kind of a douchebaggy move. Obviously, there's some clip channels out there that have done editing on clips based on, like, Dream SMP shit. But then there's some that don't. Now, I'm not sure about Run-Along's situation, but pretty sure he doesn't do that. But here's what I do know. What I do know is that Run-Along has community posts. And I don't have community posts, but that's not what matters. What matters is that Run-Along has community posts, and apparently community posts are being used by smaller YouTubers to gain more popularity. And it's a thing that I really haven't mentioned. There's a lot of polls going on in my recommended that's like, oh yeah, reach this to 20%, 30%, 40%, and maybe I'll give you like $1,000 or something. But it's cool. It's a little thing that goes on. And I really participated. I really don't think about it. And it's just a thing that goes on. And it's been going on for weeks, and I just don't talk about it. But just know that it's important, and it's important to this story. So, I'm looking at my YouTube recommended, maybe like Monday or Tuesday of this week. And I see that Run Along has a bit of a thing to say. Has a bit of an announcement that he's streaming on Twitch. And so I go ahead and I join his live stream, and he's playing Sky Wars or Bed Wars. So I joined the stream, and I'm like, hi, and then he's like, oh, hi, Nori Ryu, and then I'm like, hi, it's like, how are you doing? And so I interact with the chat. There's not a lot of people watching. He has under 100 followers. And, we're talking, we're all having an interesting conversation in the chat and all that. I'm asking him, like, who's your favorite streamer on the Dream SMP? What do you think about it? Like, what kind of content are you willing to make? Are you planning to make on Twitch? Just interesting questions, and he's a pretty interesting fella. He's pretty entertaining, actually. And yeah, it was a very interesting first stream to watch. He didn't have channel points, nobody could sub to him. He was very much a new streamer, and he still is. So I watched him there. It was fun. I even got to play a game of Bed Wars, with him. I just remembered that. I actually got to play a game of Bed Wars, with him, and I died multiple times. But we won that game of Bed Wars. That was the end of the stream. He streamed a few other times this week. I didn't really watch them, but I always tuned in to say hi, and he would always be like, oh, hey, Ryu. And I see that, like, across the week, he's gained in followers. Like, at first he was, like, at 80 followers. I think I followed him on Twitch before he was at 100 followers, which is pretty pog. And the next stream I tuned in, he had already gotten 100 followers, and so I'm like, 100 followers, pog, and then I left the stream, because I had other things to do. And then I joined his stream yesterday, and I saw that he had 150 followers, and I'm like, pog. And all these times I joined his stream for like a second. I had said hi, and he was like, oh, hi back, and all that kind of stuff. And then today my man's got fucking Twitch affiliate. He can now have, like, people can now fucking sub to him, and he has channel points and shit. And so I'm like, oh, dude, this is so cool. And so I tuned in on his stream, just as he started. And I'm watching him, and he's on his own SMP, and I see that he's on the road to 200 followers. And I see that his goal is an invite to the SMP. Like, he'll invite somebody to the SMP. Now, in the live stream today, it was his first stream of being an affiliate. Like, he had channel points. People could sub to him, all this kind of shit. And the chat was very interesting. The chat was fun. It's a fun chat. He had like 30 viewers at one point, which is fucking insane, because like the first stream that I had tuned in of his, he only had like 9 to 11. So it's like, oh, dude, that's so cool that he's like getting more followers and people watching him. I'm proud. So yeah, he was playing on his own SMP. Me and the chat were really funny. In some bits, like I had asked him a few questions. I had learned that he was inspired by this other clip content creator called Pink, which created this one compilation, or created this one collection of clips on the Dream Team that I thought was really funny. I think it was like them practicing for MCC, and they were all fucking cracking jokes and shit, and it was really funny. And I think I had it saved in my videos. Like, I hadn't saved it in a playlist, but I just never watched it again. And I don't think I even finished it. My point is, I watched the stream, and I realized even more today that, you know, this guy's actually pretty fucking entertaining. This guy's really entertaining, actually. I quite enjoy this folk. And so I went ahead and I decided I'm gonna go ahead, you know, because here's the thing, right? He had Twitch. Of course he had Twitch. People could prime to him. People could sub to him. And I saw on the right-hand side that there were some people there that, like, had Prime Gaming. Like they own Twitch Prime. But they hadn't really subbed to anyone, I don't think. And I saw some people there that were just, people that didn't have Prime. People, I guess who just followed. And then there were some people there that were like mods, like friends of his maybe, some VIPs. But then there was this one person who had apparently primed, or who had apparently subscribed. And there's a little badge next to him that said, that said founder. And I learned today that if you tune into somebody's stream, like if you tune into a streamer's first stream of having affiliate, and you subscribe to them, then not only will you have subscribed to them, but you'll have a special badge that says that basically says that you were there for the very first stream and that you subbed. And that you subbed on the very first stream that he got affiliate, or that he or she got affiliate, and you've been there sort of since the beginning of he or she having an affiliate status. So I'm like, that's really interesting. I kind of want to do that. And since this guy had just gotten affiliate today, since Run Along just got affiliate today, I'm like, you know what? I've been tuning into his streams a little bit all week. I want to see if I can prime to him. So I went ahead, I pulled some strings, called a few people, did some stuffs. And at the end of the road, I hooked up a relative's Twitch Prime, a relative's Amazon Prime, and my Twitch account. I hooked them up. And before I knew it, I could sub with Prime. Now, here's the thing. I didn't want to just sub. Because I was on the edge, like, I can prime now. I can fucking prime. Like, I can give people my prime. I can make a fucking difference. Like, holy shit, dude, this is fucking rad. But I was just thinking. I didn't really know what to do. So I went ahead. And I'm like, should I save the prime for Tommy or Tubbo? Like, I'm thinking, right? And so here's what I decide to do. What I decide to do is something fucking bonkers. So I go ahead, because I'm like, I was genuinely thinking, I'm going to sub. I'm going to give my first Twitch Prime sub to Run Along. Not to Tommy in it, not to Tubbo, not to Wilburson, not to Nikki, not to any of the people that are on the Dream SMP, but to Run Along. A new streamer. A brand new streamer, just got affiliate. I'm going to sub to him. That's what I want to do. But folks, I needed to hype it up. Like, I didn't want to, just give him a prime. No. I need to play the long game. I wanted to create a scene. You know what I mean? So here's what I did. I wrote in the chat, convince me to sub with Prime. And so at the time he was on a call with this person that had been in the stream that said, oh yeah, if Run Along had died in the SMP, for Run Along to add the person that dared him, like, oh yeah, if you die, add me. So they were talking, and so I asked Run Along in the chat, convince me to sub with Prime. And so Run Along and the person that he was talking with, I think the person he was talking with was a person called Toothless with, X's instead of O's. But yeah, they were both then convincing me to sub with Prime. Like, come on, it's free, just subscribe in Prime, go down below, this and that. It was convincing. It wasn't amazingly convincing, but it was entertaining. And so some time passed after that. And I'm thinking, because I had the page up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. So I go to the page, I click subscribe in Prime, and then the instant that I do it, I forget what plays on the stream. I think fucking Megalovania plays on the stream. And then like, and they sound so excited. I think Run Along sounded so excited, like, hey, thank you. And then like, he was so happy, like, oh yeah, you're like the second person to sub with Prime. This is so cool. And I felt so wholesome. That was such a fucking wholesome moment. He was so happy. And the chat was so happy as well. Everyone was putting OPs in the chat, which is Run Along's thing, just putting OPs. But everyone was so happy with me, like, and I felt so good. I felt so wholesome, because it's like, it was first stream as affiliate, and it's like I gotta support my boy. I gotta support, I haven't known him for that long. Like, I haven't watched a million of his streams, but he's entertaining. He's a new and entertaining streamer. He came up from uploading clips and maybe editing them, of Dream SMP streams, to now streaming on Twitch, and he's a pretty interesting fella. He's a pretty entertaining fella. He's really interacting with his chat, and I really fucking love that, because a lot of the streamers that I watch just can't interact with their chat, because they have like more than a fucking 1,000 viewers watching them, and yeah, that's a pretty hard chat to read. But since there's only 30 or 300, since there's only like 35 and below, viewers that he has on his streams, and he's able to focus on the folks. And so I just feel so wholesome, man. It was such a wholesome moment. I subbed. He was really happy. I was really happy. He thanked me, and it was so cool, man. It was such a cool thing. And then there was somebody in the chat was like, we stand Toothless and Nori Ryu, and it's like, okay. But yeah, I'm a part of the Run Along fandom now. The Run Along fan base, if you will. So yeah, that's what I did earlier today. I primed him. He was really happy. The chat was super happy. Everyone was like Pog, Champ, and OP, and I was like, oh man, this is such a good decision. Because I was really on the fence about it, but it's like I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. I'm so happy that I did that. I'm so happy that I did that, man. I feel so whole now that I've done that. Now that I've supported somebody. And plus, I have that fucking little badge that says that I'm a founder. And so it's like, Pog! I can... now I can brag in the future. Now I have more bragging rights, folks. I can say, hey, I was there for Run Along's first affiliate stream, huh? How about that? I can brag and shit. Yeah, so I did that. I really hope he goes far, because he's growing quickly, dude. And that's just because, he's posting stuff in his community bar on YouTube. So yeah, people are finding his channel. People are finding his Twitch channel. I just think that it's crazy that this man has gone from like 50 followers to 200 in a week. I'm really proud of him. Obviously it's because of his YouTube and like and whatnot, because like I think his YouTube I think that's like 40,000 subscribers on his YouTube, but I'm not sure, or 3,000, something like that. And so, man, just so cool, man. It's just so cool. Anyway, so that's what's happened today. That's what's happened today. That basically wraps up everything. Besides the whole story with the device, and besides the whole story with the device and maybe more stuff. Besides that, there's that's pretty much it. Right now, I'm probably going to go ahead and, I don't know, watch something. Maybe do exercise. Actually, I have to do exercise. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to review episode 9. Like I said, I've already watched episode 9. I'm not going to say anything about it right now. Just know that we're going to review it tomorrow. And then Monday, something cool is going to happen on Monday. You're really going to like it. But until Monday, this has been me. I'm going to go ahead, do stuff. Don't know if I'll make this a 3-part episode, or if I'll just merge this bit with the second half of the episode, but we'll see. Anyway, until tomorrow, folks, this has been and I will see y'all in the next episode of To Memoria Freese Y3. And until tomorrow, Sayo fucking Nara.